Welcome to today's edition of Garage Science. Now, Bob and I put this one together, this episode together. We thought we'd look at some really good practical Pascal's Law. Some practical things you can do with Pascal's Law. Now, Blaise Pascal's Law and useful machines. So we're looking at practical, useful machines. Everything we show you today will have a practical purpose. But some are going to be harder to find than others. Like the practical purpose of certain relatives we have, right? They've got a purpose. It's just not that easy to see sometimes. So we're going to try anyway because that's our job. So, Pascal's Law, really, what is it again as a review? Well, basically, the pressure that you apply anywhere in a fluid. Now, fluid can be a gas or it can be a liquid, but today we're going to look at mainly liquids, is transmitted undiminished. It doesn't change at all in all directions. Now, that's called hydraulics. So, basically like this. You have a small cylinder, okay? Put a small force on that. It's got a small area, so you get a pressure. Now, the thing that's unique about Pascal's principle, or Pascal's law, is that pressure is the same everywhere in that fluid. It's transmitted, again, undiminished in all directions. So, even though you have a small force, small area over here, it develops pressure, and that same pressure is applied over here to this large area, okay? And so you get a larger force. Now, this is what happens. Look at the formula. Pressure is force over area, but if you manipulate that around using those math skills, there you go again, another reason to learn math, you end up with a force is equal to pressure times area. Well, if the pressure is the same on both sides, the only way that what you've got a difference then is in the area. So if the same pressure, small area, small force. Same pressure, but a large area, you get a large force. And that's how we apply Pascal's principle to useful machines. So let's go take a look at some useful machines we have around the garage here as a way of reviewing this. Okay, Bob, let's go set some up. Well, Bob and I have collected a few machines here to show you. Let's look at the actual basic principle behind all the machines we're going to show you, all the very practical machines we're going to show you. If you look here, we have these two 10 milliliter syringes connected together with a piece of tubing, and there's some fluid in there. Now, if I push on here, Pascal says if I apply force here over that area, I get the same pressure the whole way through. And that will cause the other one to go up. If it isn't frozen fast, there it is. It's a little warmer up here, but not a lot. See, that just goes back and forth like that. Not a problem. If you look at the other part of what we just showed you, if you have two different size areas, like this, the surface area of that plunger is much smaller than the surface area of that plunger. And so what's going to happen is the pressure, the force I put on here is on a small area, but I still get pressure applied. If you watch, it'll go up. It doesn't go up by much, but it does go up. But what you have is you have a increase in force because you have an increase in area. Okay? So that's going to give us more force, so we're going to see that kind of thing to lift things. And we'll show you some of that. Right now, let's just put these aside for now. And look at some of the practical ones that we have here. The bottle jack. Every garage needs at least two of these because I usually can't find my first one. Somebody uses it, doesn't put it back, we won't mention names. Okay, so if you look here, what you have is a very small cylinder in here, tiny little cylinder, and a big cylinder over here. So, if I move this one up and down, and I tighten this screw like I'm supposed to, there you go. That connects the valve, shuts the valve actually. And then I move this up and down, and look at that. Now look how far I'm moving, okay? And look how far that's moving. Now in a later episode, we'd like to talk about the levers involved in all of these, but not today. Today we're just looking at Pascal's law. So there's a very practical way to apply law. That'll help me lift my car, the van, or somebody who overeats at a Chinese restaurant, something like that. I'm not talking about Bob or anything, but anyway, that works really well there. That's a good practical application. Here Here is another. What's more practical than a lift? Now, cylinder, second cylinder, increase the, put a force here on an area, get a pressure, goes through there, and it moves that back and forth. Watch, see? I can lift a whole family of peeps with this thing. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, there. That's pretty practical. Now, this one's a bit smaller. This is a level lifter, all right? This platform lifter, we're going to raise that up. See? There it is, same concept. Okay, you'll see these at construction, not this one, but a bigger one at a construction site, and it's used to lift things to a height so then they can unload them whenever that is, and that just stays level. Okay, that is pretty amazing. All right, practical. See, practical. Here's another type platform lifter. Okay. Here you can see this is a little better over here. All right, gonna keep that out like that. Sorry. Here I am again, applying force, area, pressure on an area. Just going to lift these arms up and down. Okay. See that? You'll see those at construction sites too. Only they probably aren't lifting green marshmallow peeps, but whatever. Still practical. Almost killed the little guy. It's supposed to do that. Yeah, look at this one. This is the first in a series of things we're looking at. Look at this. Oh, look. See? Scoop it up, and then you can lift it up. This has dual cylinders. Look at that. And when you get it really, really high, you can drop it on its head. Oh, right, Bob. Shouldn't show that to the children. Okay, forget that part. This is a nice practical thing. It is a digging machine, okay, like a track hoe or something like that, or a backhoe. That would be a nice little thing there, and that just works really well, and you should never drop somebody on their head. Okay, good. Now, got to give Bob and I a minute to set up the next ones. We got to go get them. Be right back. Bob and I have this highly practical device set up to show you here. This is called a robotic arm. We were sitting around on one of those cold, rainy, wet, miserable nights, and we were just going to sit in a dark corner, listen to heavy metal music, eat bonbons, and stare into the abyss. And then we thought, that's a waste of time. Let's go build a robotic arm. So we did. And this is what we got. And it's super practical. Look what we can do with it, Bob and I. All right. These are the three controllers. They're all syringes. Yeah, cylinders, just like Pascal told us to use. The yellow one moves it back up and down. I don't even know what they do. The green one moves it left to right. And the blue one makes the pinchers move. All right, so if I lower this just at the right spot, and then I close it, and then I lift it, and then we move it. Watch this, I can. Look at that. How much more practical can you get than that? Moving marshmallow chickens. This thing has a real future. I'm telling you. What, Bob? You don't? Okay, all right. Let's show them the next one we have. I'm sure they'll think this one is more practical than this. This is very nice, though. This was a lot of fun to build. All right, I'm going to be that way about it. Okay, Bob. Let's show them this one. This is a Bot Catapult. Huh? Look at that. There was a lot of rainy, cold nights. This one only has one cylinder, and the cylinder goes right in there. And this is highly practical, unbelievably practical. See, if we put this in here like that, and I squeeze this, that's going to up the pressure on that cylinder right there. And we get right to here. If I push it really hard, look at that. Watch yourself, Bob. This is called a catapult, but I really think it ought to be called a chickapult. Ha! All right, I'm sorry. All right. You're right, Bob. We should end with something really, truly practical, not just fun to build, because these are really fun to build. Okay, all right. Here, we'll do something practical. We'll show them that we're capable of that, too. All right, here, back off a little bit. Here, buddy. All right, here you go. There you go. All right, Bob. It was you wanted to do this, so here you go. All right, now, this is a truly practical thing. There's 2 cylinders in here. Pascal's principle, just like all the other devices. Turn this handle. I do this. Watch what happens to Bob. Way to go, Bob. He gets to do all the fun stuff here. All right, and now, shh, don't tell him. If I release this, the cylinder opens up and the pressure's released, and down he goes. Here we go, and yeah. All right, so there you go. Another episode of Garage Science. Wave to him, Bob.